The amount of people I see that wear Doc Martens is insane. It's just insane. What is the cost of undergrad tuition at Emerson College? No one is a STEM major at my school. You definitely see the same people over and over again. I'm pretty sure I get secondhand smoke from just being a student here. Hey guys, I'm Caitlin and welcome back to my channel. If you guys are new here, you probably have not seen my other videos. Obviously, I am a student that goes to an art school. I am an art student. I'd like to think that. Growing up, going into high school, and then applying to college, I didn't really know where I wanted to be. I didn't really know what I was capable of in terms of my creativity, what I want to do in my life. Like, I literally didn't really know what I wanted to do until maybe the end of my junior year or the beginning of my junior year. I really didn't know what I wanted to do. Now, I am at Emerson College in Boston, and I'd like to consider myself an art student. So on Urban Dictionary, an art student is defined as: there are many different kinds of art students in the world, all with a different prerogative and reason for pursuing the artistic field. So there's like a bunch of stereotypes for art students, and I'm not gonna get entirely into that. I mean, if you want to see a video of just like art student stereotypes, I mean, it would be really fun to see the different stereotypes at my school and just elaborating on the stereotypes of the majors, because as students we all like to kind of collectively make fun of each other's majors, and it's kind of funny, so look out for that in the future. Yeah, I would like to consider myself an art student. I go to an art school just because it's not, as some students may say, it's quirky. It's not like other schools. I honestly would like to think that too, just because I've been to other colleges. I've seen the environment and the social scene of other schools, especially in Boston, and I know that it's kind of different from any other university or typical college. And so in Boston, there's a couple of art schools. There's Emerson, Mass Art, Berkeley College of Music. There's a couple of them. Technically, yes, I do consider myself an art student because I go to an art school, but I study marketing communications. Some might say that's more of like the business side of the arts, and that's kind of why I'm studying marketing communications at Emerson. One may consider my major not to be an artistic major just because it's not like performing arts or film. And today in this video, I kind of just wanted to elaborate on what it's actually like to go to an art school. Some of my friends from other schools have definitely asked me, like, what's it like going to an art school? Like, do you have photo shoots every day? And I personally love answering these questions because no, like, some of it's not really accurate, but some of the time I'm like, damn, that's actually so true. So today in this video, I thought it'd be fun to show you guys how I got into this art school, what the environment is like at an art school, and just the entirety of what an art school really is and what it actually looks like. Yes, let's just get right into it. I'm excited. If you go to an art school, comment down below what school you go to and if there are any differences in your art school. I'd love to hear them. So let's first talk about how I got in. As I said, I am a marketing communications major. I'm in the communications department, which our curriculum is solely based on English and writing and the English language, communication, and the arts. That's kind of what our school is based upon. What I had to do to get into this school. When I was applying, I didn't really know if I had to submit a portfolio because a lot of the other majors at our school, you had to apply for a portfolio, and I didn't really think I needed one. Like, I create videos and I have like artistic abilities. I didn't have to submit like a portfolio like the film students or the performing arts have to do like a monologue. I didn't have to submit one of those, but I know a lot of my friends and a lot of my peers had to submit portfolios. Like, it's based upon your ability to perform within your field, and so I find that interesting about a lot of like my friends that have gone in. I've seen, like, they've showed me some of their work and I'm just like, wow, that's cool. So the portfolio I think is different. I mean, it's not completely different from other schools. I don't know why I'm talking about this because I didn't have to submit one, but I know that's one of the criterias for a lot of people when submitting and applying to this school. I had an average SAT score. My school is a test optional school, and so you had the ability to negate your scores and to submit a writing supplement instead. Since my scores were a little bit on the higher end, I decided to submit my scores anyway. The essay matters a lot, like your Common App essay, that we're all storytellers, and so in your essay you have to have like a good story to tell. And so I think a lot of Emerson students and a lot of art students tell stories in ways a lot of people can't, and that's what I really admire about, and students just inspiring to create. It's just amazing. So undergrad tuition and fees is $46,852, and that was just in 2018 and 19. I know that for the 2020-2021 school year, the tuition is going up, and they didn't tell us, which is very frustrating. We love private institution tuition, just love it. We have the ability to use different tools and different equipment that other schools wouldn't have. We have this thing for journalism majors and film majors where you can sign out equipment like cameras, microphones, drones even, and it kind of sucks because I can't do that. We have the ability to use all of these different, there's so many sets, so many theaters, and so many things, tools that we can use as students to create things that I know a bunch of other schools that I looked at did not have. All of which they offer to me costs extreme, like it costs a lot. So the size of my school, I'd say average. I thought it was on the lower end, but then I talked to so many other people that go to different schools and they have really tiny. But my school has 3,100 undergrads, so approximately 900, give or take, students in my freshman class. And so we all lived in the same building. Everyone got to know each other quite well. It feels like high school in a way, but everyone's kind of done with the high school BS and the drama and everything. Since it's a really small population, word of mouth gets around, gossip gets around. There's this new account on Instagram. If you're an Emerson student, you know what it is. Basically, people just submit anonymous tips. They post it, and it's like, it's really weird and it's really interesting, but it feels a lot like high school, which is not fun when you're trying to get away from high school. There tends to be, I wouldn't say this is the entire student body, but a lot of people tend to be cliquey in a way. You have your little friend group, there's another friend group, and so there's a lot of like spotted friend groups. Some people tend to be kind of cliquey in a way. People don't really care as much as like you would in high school, so I think it's fine in that aspect. Definitely see the same people over and over again, which kind of gets repetitive because you want to see other people. For me, it was kind of similar feeling from being in high school because I came from, my graduating class in high school was 70. I literally saw the same people every day. It kind of depends on who you are as a person. I know going into college, I wanted a bigger university, but then I realized that Emerson is like the perfect size for me. It's small, but it's considered to be average in a way. Emerson's not very an athletic school or a school that is based around sports like other universities are. So in terms of the academics and what my day looks like, I have a ton of day in my life vlogs, being a weekend in my life here at Emerson College. I know a lot of people were curious about what classes I was taking. The classes that I take aren't your typical university classes. My math requirement was already fulfilled before I came to school, so I actually didn't really have to take a math. So for my spring 2020, I took cultural economics. I had to take research writing, which everyone has to take your freshman year. I took communication, media, and society for my marketing requirement, American women writers for my literary perspective requirement. I'm not taking your average like STEM classes. No one is a STEM major at my school. We don't really have to take a lot of exams, which I know is definitely different from other schools and a lot of other universities, or at least me personally as a freshman, I didn't have to take too many exams. I had quizzes here and there, a couple final exams, but for your final exam and your midterm, we were based on like doing presentations and doing final exams we do a lot of group work. A lot of people like to work as a group and work collectively, so I think that's a really good. So yeah, we don't really take your typical exams like other universities do. For my fall 2020, so my first semester of my sophomore year coming up this fall, I'm taking brands, organizations, and strategies, messages, media, and channels, statistics for my math requirement for my major, and understanding consumers. I find these courses really interesting. Like the descriptions of the courses are really interesting to me. For our liberal arts requirements, we have to take like a music requirement, a dance requirement, a literary perspective requirement, world diversity. There's a ton of requirements that we have to fulfill for liberal arts requirement and for our major. So in terms of the environment of my school, I'd say it's definitely very hands-on and very creative in a way. A lot of students are involved in so many things, and when other students are creative, it makes you want to be creative, and it inspires you to make things and to just tell stories and to just be creative in a way. Coming into Emerson, I was like, I want to do so much. I want to have so many photo shoots, video shoots. I just want to do everything. I just want to create. I just want to be around people who want to do the same thing as me, which I did end up going into something like that, but it's not like what you typically think about in art school. Everyone is creative, everyone is very hardworking, everyone has a mindset that just wants to create, everyone is very like-minded in a way that everyone is liberal. And I don't want to say it's not, because it's true. Like you'll find people here and there being somewhat conservative, but I'd say a lot of students on campus, the majority of the student body are liberal. And I don't want to assume everyone else's political stances, because everyone has a right to their own opinion and their own political stances. So it's the moment you've all been waiting for, which I think is definitely the biggest part of going to an art school, is what you wear and what other people wear. And it's almost like this culture, I'd say, of people wanting to dress up and being able to dress up, because no one really cares if you wear something that would be embarrassing at a different school. And I really love this aspect of the school, because you get to test out new ways of fashion. You get to test out so many different ways to style yourself. That's what I really love about Emerson and going to an art school, because in my high school, I was really scared and kind of nervous to experiment with my fashion and to just try out different things. But I think definitely at this school I get to test out so many different styling options. Like I won't stray away from this, but I know it's not a culture, I'd say, but a lot of students tend to have a lot of designer clothing. And honestly, the way people like dress and the way people style themselves are just so cool. Like I just wouldn't see anywhere else. Seeing other students being able to experiment and being able to be creative with their fashion. And because I know at least for me, styling is a really big part of how I express myself. And just seeing other students dress up like this is just incredible. It's amazing. A ton of different schools that I've seen a couple YouTube videos that express some of the fashion at other art schools, and it's really interesting to see the differing perspectives of the students at different schools, which is interesting. Also, if you don't have Doc Martens, you're canceled. I know just a couple of people who don't own a pair of Doc Martens. When I started my freshman year, I had a pair of Doc Martens, but I didn't bring them to school because I was like, why would I need these? It's the end of summer, beginning of fall. Like, I'll still wear my tennis shoes. But then, like, as soon as I stepped on campus, it was like an army of Doc Martens just coming at me, and I just didn't know what to do. So I ended up purchasing a pair. I envy like literally every single student that has style at Emerson, because I'm like, I want to be that. I want to have that good style. And along with the environment too, with the Doc Martens, there's like 5 residential halls. Like freshman, sophomore, and junior year, you live on campus, and so everyone lives there, and so everyone is like kind of put into this tiny little campus. We have, I'd say, like 2 blocks on Boylston Street, and then we have Paramount, which is like down by Downtown Crossing. If you walk like outside of your dorm, you're gonna have students smoking cigarettes. And I don't want to say everyone has a nicotine addiction, but you walk outside the dining hall or your residential hall, and you'll have students like smoking cigarettes. And I guess that is kind of a stereotype of like an art, like I didn't think it was real personally. I didn't think people are gonna be smoking cigarettes, people are gonna be blackening their lungs, but people do. And they are literally making money on destroying your lungs. I don't want to say that people do it to be trendy, but some people do. On the topic of like cigarettes, I've never really talked about like the partying aspect in depth on my channel because I kind of like strayed away from partying. Is like it's a huge aspect of your college life. I do want to say it's a really big part of your college experience in the college life. Partying at Emerson is again, I say very different from other schools. We don't have your typical frat life on campus. We don't really have the space to do anything. A lot of students get kind of creative with their partying. It's kind of funny. A lot of students, they spend their time doing like video shoots. A lot of film students do a lot of film shoots, and those shoots take a really long time. And so they want to enjoy their college experience like on a Friday, Saturday night, but they also have to do a film shoot. So it's kind of funny to see how some students get creative with this aspect of college, and it's really funny to see. Some people do resort to just having parties inside their dorms. Some students don't really do it at all. There's like 2 students at Emerson. There's one that kind of just like goes off all the time, and there's like one that's kind of more like reserved and laid back and just like there for the ride and the experience, you know? And since we live in the city of Boston, there are other schools that we can go to have that experience. So you just have to go out to experience the partying of your college life. I've noticed going to an art school and then going to other schools, like a couple other schools like dorms, is that you will never find a room that is like basic or like bland. I've never seen anything like it. It's so amazing to see what other students can do. And like I said, a lot of students are very hardworking. I just love to see what other people have to do like with their rooms. So there you have it. That's what an art school really consists of. If I left anything out, please comment down below. I'd love to hear what you have to say. And if you aren't already subscribed to my channel, again, I think I want to do a stereotypes for the majors at my school because it's really funny to elaborate on that. Subscribe to my channel if you want to see that in the future. I hope you guys did enjoy this video. Give it a thumbs up. Yeah. Oh, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.